Good morning, everyone. Today is Monday, August 7th, I think. Yeah, I can never remember the dates. But time for another pumpkin update. It's hot and everything's growing great. Had a battle with the aphids last night. Went on for hours, and sorry to say, many aphids were lost last night. But you know, makes me happy. I sprayed the crap out of everything with neem oil and soap. I found 3 or 4 different species of aphids on the pumpkins and one kind on the tomatoes. Pretty much every tomato now has aphids. So I pretty much used up an entire bottle last night. Just trying to control it because they're getting outrageous. But you know, there's stuff still chewing on my leaves. I don't know, I can't see what it is. I don't think it's the mice, because the mice started going after the tomatoes. I found 2 tomatoes over there just completely destroyed, the lowest one, so I'm assuming it was the mice. But let's come over here and I can show you guys the return of the Max, Big Max. So this is the new one I planted. You know, it's not growing as fast as I wanted it to, but you know, like I said, as long as I can get it to set a pumpkin by the end of September, so that gives it the rest of this month and the rest of next month to grow. As long as it sets by the end of September, I think I can get a pumpkin out of it before Halloween. So that's all I care about. It doesn't matter if it's orange. I just want a pumpkin. These are the fairy tales. You see some yellowing and greening of the leaves. That's natural. These leaves are over 2 months old. But I've got 5 fairy tales growing. There's that one. Oh. Let's come over here. There's another one under there somewhere. Can't get to it. There's another one here. That's 3. There's another one under there. That's 4. And here's another one. That's 5. Oh. Yeah, it's a good size already. And then here's my Connecticut field. Thing's great. It's starting to turn a little bit orange, I think. I'm not sure yet, but once I know for sure it's starting to turn orange, I'm going to cut it off so the plant can continue to grow. The powdery mildew has started showing up. All the leaves over here in the back there, I found powdery mildew this week, so that's kind of also why I spent a whole bottle of neem oil, you know, wanting to kill the aphids and stop the powdery mildew. You guys can see my Cinderella, my Rouge. That thing's big. Thing's easily over 20 pounds already. But there's another one over there. I did have a third one growing, but I noticed the plants stopped growing and the other tomatoes were there's a bee on my front of my phone. This is the other one I cut off. Yeah, it wasn't big enough to support 3. It was just stunting real bad. But once I cut that one off, these 2 started to grow really quickly, and the plant started to grow again. Let's come over here. Let's go through the forest. All I need is some birds in the canopy chirping. Got another Connecticut field over here. There's 2 more Connecticut fields under there. I got my Lakota squash. 1, 2, 3, and that's in addition to the 2 that I already harvested over there. I think they crossed, you know, the parent plant. I think it might have been crossed with a Turk's turban, because if you've seen a Turk's turban, the underneath is pretty unique. Yeah, I've been having to keep up with the watering big time because it's just been really hot. You know, in another hour or so, it's gonna get so hot these leaves are gonna start drooping, and that's kind of why I have them covered, because when they droop, the leaves don't cover the pumpkins anymore, and they're just exposed to the blazing sun. And so that's the pumpkins. I'm just show you guys the tomatoes over here. So this one right here, it's got the same thing that the other black creme over there, the one that the black creme over there has. I researched it. I think it's called tomato curly top virus. That's why it only affects the top of the tomato. The leaves get really wrinkly and crinkly, and but it doesn't harm the tomatoes growing already. It just kind of kills the top leaves so that there's not as much shade anymore, so that tomatoes get sun scald. But the ones that are underneath are just fine, and you know, they're growing just great, and they taste awesome. This is the red beefsteak. Man, this thing is just so massive. I gotta keep tying it and tying it and tying it because it just weighs so much. I put in 2 of those 5-foot 1x1 inch stakes, and it's still pulling it. You know, it's extremely heavy. Then over there is my Cherokee purple. I've already harvested a crap load of Cherokee tomatoes. My biggest one, about a pound. There's those 2 big ones right there, and luckily the mice haven't gotten it, so I'm gonna set some traps tonight, because you know, all the bottom tomatoes over there just got destroyed. My brandywine is doing a lot better, but still, you know, I don't know. I keep it well watered, I keep it well fertilized, but the thing just wants to get blossom end rot like no tomorrow. I gotta harvest that one. There's another one right there I gotta harvest. I've harvested about half a dozen, and you know, they're decent tomatoes. They're nothing to brag about. Nothing like a Cherokee purple or a black creme, or even this one, you know, the big rainbow. You know, these are, I already had 3 of them. These are delicious. Yeah, it's just wanting to go, but see, all my tomatoes are starting to get this kind of funky coloring on the leaves, or early blight, or leaf mold. You know, it's been bad. But another 2 days or so, this one will be ready. This one's a nice one. You can see there's a lot of black creams here that I need to harvest. I need to get to that. You see my sungold here is pretty much naked now. It got hammered with the early blight and leaf mold really bad. I had to pretty much cut everything off from here down, you know, leaf wise. And you can see all the tomatoes everywhere. I've given away so much tomato. People think I have my own farm or something. But it's amazing how many tomatoes this thing produces. This is the other one. And keeping these things organized and tied up is challenging, because they just want to go everywhere. It's like a freaking snake. You can see this one coming out. The cherry tomatoes over there, like I said, I haven't been watering it. I've just been letting it do its thing and getting over there every once in a while and harvesting the tomatoes, because I can't keep getting over there and watering it, so I just decided to let it go. My zucchinis in the back, they're both already putting out zucchinis. That's the yellow zucchini, yellow squash, and the black beauty zucchini over there. You can't see it because it's hidden by the tomato. The prickly pears have finally started to ripen. Cut off about a dozen of them. They're bright orange and they are so sweet. I can't believe it. Definitely worth the wait. You know, it makes me want more. But I think as the plant ages, it produces more and more prickly pears. Last year, this thing only put out 3. That was the first year it actually fruited. This is the second year it fruited, and it put out so many prickly pears. I can only imagine what next year it's gonna do. My guava tree, it's got a lot of guavas growing on it, and I've just been amending it with kitchen scraps, and we get so many kitchen scraps I can't give it all to the worms because it's just too much. I bagged and freeze the rest, so the freezer is also full of worm food. So the rest I could just bury it under the wood chips and let the worms, you know, outside have at it. Got here some clones. That's a big rainbow clone, and these 3 are Cherokee purple clones. They're, you know, going real well. Here is my red beefsteak clone. So I've had to spray it too because it's showing signs of leaf mold. And we'll come over here. You see my big rainbow. This thing, I swear, it feels like it grows 6 inches a day. It just shooting straight up. The red beefsteak that I had here got terribly infected with whatever this thing has, the curly top virus. So again, this one I'm not watering it either. I'm just letting it do its thing and die out so I can rip it out. But this red beefsteak, I decided to just rip it out before it got any bigger, and I'll just let it settle down. Once that one's out, hopefully this one doesn't get affected. If it doesn't, then I can plant, you know, 2 more here. But you know, it's looking good. And last but not least, show you the dragon fruit. Going and going. The heat makes it want to grow faster. I mean, this thing's a tropical plant, but I had to cut off all of the little buds that it shoot out. You know, it shot out one at every single node. I cut them all off on this side too, and it's starting to put them out along the length here. But hopefully, well, supposedly these were from mature cuttings, from meaning they were from a plant that was 2 or 3 years old. So hopefully by next year I might start getting dragon fruit. This is a Vietnamese white, and I believe it's a 5-year-old, cuttings from a 5-year-old plant. And here's my condor. You see a bud coming out of there at the top. You see another one coming out down there. You see more over here, right there, right there, right there. It's getting really hot. But that's the garden update, guys. I'm glad I got pumpkins at least. I can't wait to harvest them and see if the plants can put out a little more. I haven't really been on YouTube that much. I've been extremely busy. Like, work's been keeping me busy all week, and weekends I'm usually, you know, out of town. Whew. This is the voodoo child. He's also climbing up. This one had gnarly mold, no, not mushrooms growing out of it, bright yellow caps, and I kind of squashed it and buried it so that my daughter wouldn't be tempted to grab them when she's out here. Yeah, that's it, guys. Thanks for watching, and we'll probably post another update in another 2 weeks. Yep, thanks.